Remnants of Harvey are dumping up to 6 inches of rain an hour, and it will not be over anytime soon.
It's hard to comprehend the scale of Harvey's destruction. The record-breaking storm dumped more rain than any other hurricane or tropical storm in the United States. Unprecedented flooding in Houston and surrounding areas in southeast Texas caused tens of thousands to flee. At an estimated cost of over $120 billion, Harvey would be the costliest natural disaster in U.S. history. That's more than the combined cost of Hurricane Katrina in 2005 and Hurricane Sandy in 2012. Dave Yelovich, his family, and his home were caught in the middle of Harvey. This is his story of how he rebuilt his home stronger and higher to protect him and his family against any future flood damage.
I'm Dave Yelovich. Welcome to our house. This is our new house. It was a one-story house basically down below us with all brick, and this is our second time to flood. We survived Hurricane Harvey, but the house did not. After 20 years, we know it's going to flood again, so we made the gut-wrenching decision to just tear it down and start over. And we're standing up on the front porch, which is about 10 feet up in the air, and we're going to show you a little bit of our house today and the story and what the folks at SmartVent provided that really has brought some peace of mind to me, because we do know it will flood again, and how that is handled will really be comforting, knowing we're up high and knowing that I'm controlling my flood water underneath our feet.
And my name is Julie Close, and I'm a flood mitigation specialist with SmartVent Products. And Dave reached out to us a few months back looking for some solutions to his flood mitigation issues. He raised this beautiful home, built it up on raised foundation, and needed to do the appropriate flood mitigation. So our plans division actually placed 10 vents into his crawl space, as opposed to the 39 that he had from his architect. So this foundation is much better looking, it's much safer, and this beautiful home is going to be ready to move into shortly, we hope. So Dave, you chose for your home the 1540-570 model that fits in between the stud walls. Can you tell us a little bit how the installation process
Well, it was actually pretty simple. I don't know if I can show you. We've got 10 of these on the house, and this past weekend I installed all 10 in just over an hour. And they are stud spacing 16 inches on center, and you built it to where it fits perfectly right between them. So all we had to do was cut out a little bit of the siding, and we literally popped it in, screwed it in, and put the trim around it. And it took literally almost no time at all. It's one of the easiest things that have gone in on this house.
So let's talk about how the vents work. So they're water activated. So as water enters the slots, internal floats go up. We're going to use business cars to simulate water. So the flood opening opens, allowing water and debris to come into the structure. And then as the water and debris exit, it flips back around and lets the water and debris back out. Dave, now we're standing on your first living level. How high are we up here?
Let's, Julie, our feet are about almost just under 10 feet above the slab that we were just standing on.
We're actually even with your neighbor's home next door.
We're at the top of his roof, actually, and part of the idea was when we talked about raising things up from all those outlets and things downstairs. The mechanical equipment up here will be behind us will be the air conditioning systems, and that'll obviously be well above what we see everywhere else. And then maybe eventually we made space on this platform for a future generator for other emergencies. There will still be hurricanes and power, and then we've even pre-wired for a generator in the future. But going up, like I said, it's pretty high.
So you brought your air conditioning system up with you. Tell us a little bit about what your experience was like. And
when we were built after Allison, we were just like our neighbors. We just redid the sheetrock, and again we flooded. You come to a point where, yes, this is a typical house. All these houses were built in the mid-70s on slabs, and this is the elevation. we have a nice backyard, but we have a creek back there that gets a little mad every now and then. So eventually, maybe as time goes on, most homes along the creek and the floodplains, they will get higher until we get up to a thinking of this, where everything along rivers and creeks and bayous get way up in the air. We'll continue to have things that need to be replaced every few years because flooding is inevitable. Well, we're standing back on the ground level, and I get creative from time to time with pieces of trim or things, and I work here every night and on weekends. And this piece of trim right by your head there, my wife came by and said, "What did you do? What is that?" And I said, "Well, I figured out from the slab here that this is about the high point of Harvey's water."
So I'm standing at the high water mark.
That's the high water mark that we had here in the house. So you can imagine that in the house and over the rest of the neighborhood, we had a lot of water. In the future, if my neighbors were to say, "Hey, what should I do?" I'm an advocate for really what my friend said. It took me a while to understand, just tear it down and do it right. And so now it's time, eventually each neighbor has to answer that question. Should I tear it down, do it right? And if so, build up, create a crawl space or whatever that space underneath, and get your house out of harm's way, because it is worth living along these ways, but you got to be smart. You can't build a house on a slab and expect it to stay dry for 100 years.
So if you could speak to Harvey, what would you say?
Harvey, glad you're gone. If your relatives are out there brewing, we wish they go somewhere else, but we're ready for you. Whatever happens, our community's shown that we can overcome whatever's thrown at us, and being under that much water for so long, it was great to see how people responded. People from all over the country coming to our street, coming to our town, coming to our area, from Rockport all the way to Beaumont, to help people.
That's Texas strong.